Hi there, I am Devil's Reject. Thank you all for having us in your homes or your workplaces or wherever you may be here this afternoon. It is almost 3 o'clock here in Calgary. Around the world, I'm sure some of you are getting up early, some of you are staying up late. So we appreciate you all for being here with us this afternoon.
Today we have France versus Argentina. Argentina in a place, they are stoked to be in this game today at 3 o'clock. The later you play today, the closer you are to that top 10, top 5, and that's what we're getting into now.
That's right. Here in just a few seconds, we are going to head to the track to talk or to hear some national anthems. You can see both the skaters there on their benches, wrapping up the final planning committee there as Team France finishes up their warm-up.
Team France in red, you can just see them on the right of your screen. Team Argentina in blue, of course, out on the track, just finishing their warm-up. Both teams get a few minutes to kind of get things stretched out. For a lot of these teams, they've played multiple games. And now we're into these full bouts as well, too. So we'll be with you for 2 30-minute periods. Live from the Acadia Center here in Calgary, Alberta. And it's a gorgeous day in Alberta, by the way. Managed to actually go outside and see the Rocky Mountains. I can see them.
That's right. It has been beautiful here in Calgary. My first time here in Canada, actually. And I finally mastered the money here on the final day in Canada. So unfortunately, I have to leave. But I know all about the loonies and the toonies.
Just in time.
Yes.
Yeah. But you can share that knowledge to get back with you.
I will have to come back
Yes.
and just be sure and use more Canadian money.
And there's a lot of skaters and NSOs and volunteers and people from all over the world here, not just the skaters, but internationally from announcers and I'm meeting people from all over the place that are jacked to be here. And a lot of them are staying tonight because you know there's going to be an international level after party.
Yes, there will be, as there always is, with lots of international flair, indeed.
Yes, and then Monday will be check out Calgary as teams start heading back to their countries.
Hola y bienvenidos. Hola, hello and welcome to this matchup for 5th place here at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup. We are so glad you are in attendance. This is going to be a spectacular game, maybe the game of the day. Welcome.
Can you please all rise for the national anthem of Argentina? And can you please remain standing for the national anthem of France?
Very nicely done by
What
both
a
of those
rousing
teams.
show of nationality
The
from both of
beautiful
these
singers we have out there on
teams
the
from
track.
different continents, and that's what the World Cup is all about.
Great national anthems there by both teams. A lot of emotion on the track as we have
We'll just
France
give you a
in
quick
red.
run through of the lineups for the day. For France, we have Candelero, Mirage, Sangaloku, Dr. Whoosh, Scare NX, Rocket Bush, Kilian Crow, The Cleaner, Spider Biscott, Asheloff, Poopa Test, Gatto, Bruce Willite, and Hygienic.
And for Argentina, we have Pibe, Ascaras, Castillo, Cruz, Mr. Borderline, Ventos, Heavy Dolce, Esquivel, Sanchez, Victor Diaz, Bergaljo, Chorente, Guevara, and Donet.
And it is The Cleaner lining up first against Castillo. The Cleaner trying to work his way through that blue wall right now as Kilian Crow has been knocked to the outside by Bergaggio and recycled all the way back behind the jam line, reducing France's defense by one. But no worries for The Cleaner, who is through for lead. France, of course, playing in the red today, Argentina in the blue.
And Castillo through, but calling off the jam. The Cleaner picking up 4 points, putting France on the board first.
Next up in the blue for Argentina, we have Pibe, and he'll be lining up against Songal Oku.
And welcome to the feed at the desk here. We just listened to our house announcers doing an excellent job of that first jam as Devil's Reject and Mac the Mouth are here in Calgary to take you through the second jam.
Right, and here we are 28 minutes on the clock. We've got France drawing first blood out there on the track. 4 points against Argentina. Again, as we had said earlier, Argentina skating for us this afternoon in the blue. France in the red as we head to the action on the track. Pibe out there for Argentina, Sangaleaku for Team France. Pibe stuck behind a wall of red. There in the front of the pack. Pibe, we saw a lot of juking action from so far this weekend. I believe he's jammed in every game for Team Argentina, Matt.
He certainly has, and his size does not make up for his strength and power. He's one of the smaller skaters on the track, but he's got such incredible moves and agility. Like you just saw there on your screen, down the sidelines, flips himself backwards, scoots past skaters for points. Argentina takes a 1 point lead. We're 1 minute into the second jam. Argentina also with lead on this jam. Again, when he gets really low, he's low on those outside corners, it's impossible to chase when he gets that head of steam up. As now we have the French star out of the pack. They stashed it and got it out. Opportunity for some more points here for Argentina, though, as he's in the pack, already through several hips, calls it off, collects those points, and that 4-0 French lead quickly evaporates into a 13-4 Argentina lead.
now on the track for you. We've got number 223, Pupatest.
Number.
We have spoken so many different languages here this weekend, there is no telling what we're saying at this point. We are multilingual here today on the track.
Please try to keep up at home.
He is getting up against Bento's 4 Team Argentina. And for the lead, we have France.
Pupatest, I believe number 223 in red there for France, taking lead, getting forced out of the back of the pack, as is the Argentine jammer forcing him out. A little cat and mouse at the back of the track here because literally nothing's going to happen. Pupatest staying back behind the pack, the French jammer on the outside. You can see him on the left of your screen. We have the Argentine jammer in the top of turn 2. And now the Argentine jammer on the track in the straightaway. So France had lead there, didn't want to risk a cut penalty. They played a little chicken, and finally France called it off and said, okay, let's just start over again.
We've actually seen that quite a bit this weekend as well. Just a little, like you said, chicken and mouse game out there on the track. Nobody wanted to make the first move.
Chicken and mouse, that's...
Chicken and mouse.
That's good.
I'm not even speaking English
That's
well
like,
at this point. Welcome to the party.
Or cat and worm. That's another good game, too.
Yeah.
That's perfect. 129 in red is Rocket Bush. Number 10 in blue is Castillo. Castillo pushing near the front of the pack. Rocket being pushed out of the back. Castillo has advantage right now. They have advantage of that front edge, but there's a tough red wall up there holding strong, keeping Castillo in that pack. Number 666 in blue is Lorente, trying to play some offense. French jammer's out of the pack, but picks up a forearm. Argentine with lead jammer here.
That's right, Rocket
jam.
Bush to the penalty box on his first penalty here.
And that's the Roller Derby Athletic Power Jam here at the Nerd Track.
Through the pack there is Castillo on his 5-point pass for Team Argentina. Coming up there on the inside line, you have number 666, Llorente, trying to break up the pack, allowing a sweep for his partner to get through, and he is able to make it for another 5-point pass for Argentina.
Argentina have some of the smaller jammers in this tournament, but it doesn't stop how fleet they are. Their speed and finesse is pretty incredible for their size. French jammer out of the penalty box through the pack. Not in time to pick up points, though. That was just an initial pass. 10 more points for Argentina, 23-6. Just over 5 minutes in. The first half of this full game, determining 5th and 6th place at this World Cup.
As we have had a full weekend here, Mac, watching these skaters still give it their all for 5th and 6th place is quite amazing. We've got the cleaner now on the track up against Pibe. Pibe skating, as we said earlier, for Argentina. The cleaner, again, jamming a lot as well for Team France. Pibe trying to take it up the outside, gets stuck there. His hips in the pack, allowing the cleaner the opportunity to get through for lead jammer status. Team France.
Cleaner, a strong, tough jammer, consistent jammer for France. Pibe's out as well. Cleaner jumps in the corner, calls it off. Do we stick his feet down? We'll wait for the signal. No points given.
Very clean game we've got out there. Only one person being sent to the penalty box so far here, 7 minutes into gameplay, Mac.
Patch right in front of us. I can't see. Maybe got a better view than I do.
Yes, as you can see there on your screen, that is Sangleaku next against KQ. The 5-second whistle blows again. Both packs full. Oh, excuse me. There is one Argentinian blocker in the box. That's going to be Team France. Full strength out there on the pack with their jammer taking the lead. That is Sangleaku.
As Bento is still, finally gets out of that pack. Pack is really stretched out. Penalties being called on blockers here. Jam was whistled down. A penalty called right near the end of that jam on the pivot for France. And I believe just as that jam was ending, there was one blue blocker on the track who went to the ground, which creates a no pack situation. And because the speed at which that blocker has to get back up, I think they caught the red pivot too far out of play or too far out of the pack, and they received a failure to reform. It's almost impossible situation to be in when there's only one opposing skater left and they leave or fall down on the track. You're already in trouble before you start.
Yeah, there's not much you can do with that. Back on the track, we've got Pupates for Team France up against Castillo for Team Argentina. Pupates through the lead jammer for Team France. Penalty being signaled there on the track.
Pivot for Argentina skating by us right now on the way to the penalty box. And now we have a power jam for France, as number 10 has been sent off on a cut. Castillo to the penalty box on a cut. The French blockers here directing traffic for their jammer, Pupates. As he comes into the pack, a good sweep and block is done. A low block penalty called on an Argentine blocker.
That's right, that is number 17, Mr. Borderline. He was past the point of no return, so he's going to have to go for a lap around the track. Pupates buying his time there with another 5-point pass for Team France.
One more pass, we're going to have a tied game here, and there it is. And suddenly France has pulled this right back to a 25-25 game. Castillo back on the track, still has to complete his initial pass, which allows Pupates to make another run at some more points very safely. He's knocked out on the corner, returning. He's pointing at the last blocker that he passed to make sure he comes in clean. That's 2-2-3 in red, coming in safe. He's already collected some points from the hits that he's passed, but he's got to start all over again at the back, as does Castillo, as 322 red. That's Gatto knocked him out and forced him to the back, and that's a lot of skating to not make their way down the track. 22 blue. Esquidel does an excellent job. Great battles by the packs there. Neither jammer really getting out of there. 18 points scored by France.
Yeah, beautiful track awareness out there on the track. As you mentioned, Mac, a lot of these blockers really doing great work with these bridges and the recycling on these jammers. Nice 18-point jam there by France, putting us with our first lead change of the game. France up by 3 with 20 minutes remaining here in the first half of the game.
And very clearly, the games today have all had much closer scores, many lead changes, late from the 17th, the 20 and 19th place games this morning.
That's correct. We've got Rocket Bush now skating for Team France up against Pibe skating for Argentina. Pibe coming up against Mirage and his teammates at the front of the pack. Takes the outside line, almost does an airborne split and is forced to recycle there again behind Team France. Great opportunity for their jammer Rocket Bush. He is your lead once again, Team France.
Takes it and calls it. Picks up 2. Interesting with Pibe and even Castillo, smaller jammers, and for whatever reasons, because I've coached them before, small jammers tend to attract blocking with the head penalties very often. And I'm watching Pibe do a really good job of when he interacts. You watch when he hits a pack, he'll pull his head back to make sure he's not helping the refs make a call, and he's really keeping his chin out of there and using his body and his dexterity of his feet, which is amazing.
Right, back on the jam line now, we've got the Cleaner up against Bentos for each of their teams. It's the 3-on-3 pack. Excuse me, no, there are 4 French blockers out there on the track, 3 Argentinian blockers. Cleaner's gonna hit a recycle there to the inside behind Vergajo. French skater headed to the penalty box there, putting France now down to 3 blockers on the track.
A cut penalty picked up by Argentina here. That's back-to-back power jam opportunities. France and the Cleaner in an opportune situation here to stretch out that lead. It's 5 points right now. Gets around one skater at the back. He's got that point, but he's got a 3 wall of blue to contend with. Offense comes swinging in. Out he pops, picks up the 5, and gets ready for a second pass as you've got the pack right in front of you here, our location as well. Just coming out of turn 4 into the main straightaway.
That's right, Cleaner using that spin move multiple times, cleaning up the track out there as he racks up these points, 14 France. Then forced on the inside line. Jammer standing in the penalty box, forcing Cleaner to call off the jam. Team France hoping for a power start.
And they'll have a very short roller derby athletic power jam to start this off on the nerd jam and pivot line.
Team France picking up 5 points on that last jam. Argentina held scoreless for the last 3 jams so far. Here we are in jam number 9 with 17 minutes remaining in period 1. Back on the track, we've got Sangleoku for France, while Bentos comes out of the penalty box for Argentina. Up against a pack of red skaters in the back. Sangleoku with recycled on the outfield there by Argentina. Lead jammer assessed to Sangleoku for Team France. And we also see a direction of gameplay sent to an Argentinian skater.
France with lead, but a hard work at the back of that pack, constantly getting knocked out as the Argentine jammers now out of their bentos. And the French jammer takes a quick look and calls that off. I want to say good evening to our friends down in Buenos Aires, or anyone in Argentina watching. It's just after 6 p.m. down there, so everyone's got their laptops open, watching TV. Got this up on the big screen on their HDMI. Someone at a Starbucks using free Wi-Fi down there at a coffee shop. Hope you're enjoying watching this as much as we are, giving it to you here today at the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016 in Calgary, Alberta.
Back on the track now, we've got Castillo up against Pupates for each of their teams. Through first is Pupates, lead jammer status for Team France. A bit of a messy pack, you can see there on your screen up in the top right corner. A couple skaters going out of bounds. Castillo getting stuck there. Looks like we may have a skater.
Got a skater down in some discomfort. Referees will check with the skater first to see if they're able to return to play, but they'll quickly make the safest decision.
And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome back to Calgary, Alberta here. We're still in a bit of a timeout. Again, skater went down in some discomfort, and just the EMTs and medical personnel that are here are just not going to get anyone to move up too quickly. These skaters have skated a lot of miles this weekend, and it could just be fatigue. Sometimes we call it a stinger if you land with your elbow pad out of place and something hurts, or your knee. The good news is he's up on his feet and returning to the bench under his own power. Because the jam was stopped for that reason, this skater will not be able to take part in the next 3 jams, and we'll spend some time with the EMTs just to make sure everything's good. For those of you out there, just want to know it's, and I apologize for me butchering the pronunciation. I'm going to say Laurent or Laurente. Anyone want to jump in?
I believe the double L pronunciation in Argentina is a J sound.
Thank you.
We don't have Twitter in front of us, so they can yell at us.
Well, there's yelling going on right now, and we apologize.
So it's Jalente.
But it's number 666, and he is in the EMT area being taken care of on his own power. He's feeling good.
That's right, back on the track. Pibe up against Rocket Bush. Rocket Bush through for the lead, Team France. Team France really able to capitalize on these lead jammer statuses so far in this game. Pibe forced to the infield. He'll be recycled. Meanwhile, his opponent's going to pick up some points. That's a 5-point grand slam for Team France on the scoreboard.
Skaters airborne several times trying to keep themselves inbound and in play. A lot of apex jumps in that one jam cycle, in about a 5-second cycle on that corner. And I don't want to negate our friends out in France because it's about 11:15 in the evening. So I know you're still up and watching. So we want to say a big hello to everyone in France that's watching their team in red here against Argentina. So I think these countries have met before, and some soccer games maybe before, a couple World Cups. And here we are in a World Cup roller derby with the same 2 countries battling it out.
Ready to go to ball now. We've got Miss the Cleaner for France up against Bentos for Argentina. We're going to see a track cut call assessed to one of the French skaters that may provide Pibe the opportunity to get through the pack. And he does. He's going to be your lead jammer for Team Argentina. Pibe.
Correction, that's Bentos. Number 2,
yes.
That's right. They're very similar in stature. If we don't see the number, it's easy to get one confused with the other. I have already. But he's already in scoring position, knocked out on the far straightaway, passing hips, pushing himself forward. Maybe trying to get that out of play, and he's got to get him to 20 feet to get that out of play. And that French blocker is doing a fabulous job. That Skarenix doing a great job of forcing him out right back to the back of the pack. Bentos again. Now he's got some help from a friend, and off he goes. That was 99 doing a great job. That was Donné doing a fabulous job, adding some assistance there. That would be an assist in roller derby.
Now, Mac, for those of you who may not notice, we have the cleaner over in the penalty box. He was on a star stash, so you may not have realized that was the jammer. So the jammer of record for Team France is in the penalty box now, making this a roller derby athletics power jam for Team Argentina.
Still with that star stashed away, because legally you don't have to wear it in the penalty box. You just have to have it visible to the jam ref. It's a tactic often used because maybe I can confuse you when I run back onto the track and you forget for one moment where's the jammer. And there goes the pivot. So we did have a pass. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was the cleaner. Pardon me. He did pop out of there with the star on his head. Look at me making stuff up as I go along. But you can sit in that penalty box with the star in your hand and a tiny little ball. As long as the jam ref knows you have it, you are the jammer of record.
Good jam there for Argentina. 10 points, bringing them back into the game, 35-40. 12 and a half minutes remaining. We want to say thank you to Bruce Skate News, the original over-the-shoulder roller skate holder. You spend a lot of money on those skates. Don't shove them in your bag full of sweaty gear. They hate that. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or online at bruisedsn.com. Mac, who's on the jam line for us in jam number 14?
In red, it's Sango Oku. Apologize for butchering the French language. All my French friends out there. And he is your lead jammer that is wearing number 87 in red. On the inside of the track, just bumped out and being forced back is Castillo, number 10 for Argentina. Castillo still on his initial pass, trying to get through, being held up well. But it's Senga Oku getting around the corner, coming out of turn number 2. Picking up all of his points now and actually drawing a couple penalties while doing it. That was a 5-point pass as the jammer is still, Castillo is still jammed in that pack, trying to get out on his initial pass, which sets up another 5-point opportunity. Oh, Castillo, that will be a direction of play penalty. I'm going to call that one myself. Great hit, though. I'll take the hit because these games count. It was number 3 for France, it looked like. Though I don't pick up the name on the... We'll get that sorted out later because Sangaloku forced to the back of the pack by a nice hit out by 21 on Argentina, Heavy Dolce.
Heavy Dolce been a power hitter here for Team Argentina this weekend, really putting in some work on their games yesterday. So very good to see him still in the action here in this game. France there pulling away with the lead, 15-point jam for Sangaleaku. That puts us at a 55-35 game, 10 minutes and 46 seconds. And we're gonna have a quick team timeout with a word from our sponsors.
We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.
We are back on the track here. Official review, a team timeout taken by Team Argentina, and a good time to do. They've given up some power jam points, and that's still only a 20-point difference. So there's 2 ways you can look at it. Talk to the team. Listen, we've had a couple power jams. We have not had this game run away from us. 10 minutes left in this first half, another 30 to play. It's only a 20-minute game. In fact, a relatively low-scoring game that we've gone 20 minutes into, all things considered, which means they're keeping their jammers on the track and forcing call-offs or 0 jams. Both teams are.
It seems in comparison, Mac, and I don't have the actual data here in front of me, but it seems like this is a lower penalty game than I've seen so far this week as well.
And there's been some very big penalty games.
Yes, indeed.
Some pretty maddening ones that would make coaches' hair fall out, as did mine several years ago. But penalties will do that.
Bless our NSOs and referees. We are giving them a lot of work to do here this week. We got Pibe on the track against Pupates. Pibe, lead jammer position for Team Argentina. Pupates forced to the outfield, recycled by number 99, that is Donné.
Directional play penalty on number 17, Mr. Borderline, and he went over the borderline on that hit and picked up 30 seconds in the box. Star stash by Mr. Pupates, but coming out of the pack and scoring points on several passes now. is Castillo. Oh, sorry, pardon me. That's Pibe. I did it myself. Now we're even. Pibe with speed, jumps. The air he captures is amazing. Boucatest, the jammer from France, now out of the pack. You can see him coming up the pack. This gives Pibe a chance to pick up a few more points. He does. He already had 4. We're going to get a little replay here, probably some of Pibe's footwork. You can tell Pibe's coming now as that wall is setting up. Here he comes with speed. His speed and his deking is unbelievable. He drops and disappears. He picked up those points, but just stuck a foot outside the line and had to come all the way back in again. But the speed of his deke and lateral movement is unbelievable.
Nice 7-point gem there by Pibe, putting the score at 42-55. France, the tides are turning there. France been held scoreless for the last couple of jams this go around.
Both teams being advantageous when the tides present themselves, and that's number 129, Rocketbush, getting out of the pack for lead for France. The Argentine jammer is now out as well too, so Rocketbush has a chance here to get through and grab some points, retain that lead. As Bentos chases around, but a penalty! Picked up, a low block being picked up. No, a misconduct being picked up, which puts a power jam in place for Argentina. As Bentos works the back of the pack. Good diamond set up here by the skaters in red. That's France, but it's Bentos looking for some space. He's held up well. He hasn't stepped up. Now he's out of there. He's got to step back in. Good track awareness by Bentos to see that the blocker went out with him. Bentos twisting and turning and getting out of that pack and picking up 5. That was a good penalty kill for France because they're going to have their jammer joining us shortly here as Rocketbush skates out of the penalty box. Right into the pack, it's right directly across and skates through untouched. Argentine blockers not watching that box. And Rocketbush taking full advantage of it. Castillo still has an opportunity to grab some more points. Rocketbush picking up points on that pass. Thought maybe Argentina might call it there before he got in. It's now, France actually has a 9-5 lead on this jam. Of course, he can't call it because there is no lead jammer. My apologies there. I know everyone's talking about it now. Castillo fighting to get out of the second pass. It's been a hard grind. Kudos to France's blockers who keep cycling him out and back. Low block being signaled on one of the Argentine blockers. Rocketbush and Castillo have to be gassed at this point as we get in the last few seconds of this jam. That was a tough jam. I forgot that there was no lead. So I take back my commentary about not calling it off because you can't. 17-point jam for Rocketbush, 9 picked up for Castillo at 72-51. France leads with 7 minutes remaining. On the line, Castillo back out there with the cleaner. I just spent the last jam calling the wrong jammer. Love that.
One blocker there in the penalty box, the cleaner picking up lead jammer status for Team France. Castillo there stuck behind. Oh, makes it past Gatto. Oh, he stays in bounds. He's got one blocker left to beat. Oh, and he's going to go out. We got a multiplayer call on the track against one of those skaters. That is an Argentinian skater. Not really helping Castillo out too much on the track, however, when his teammate goes to the box. However, it does do the cleaner a couple of favors as he approaches the pack.
Oh, he skips around that outside line, skates past us here and picks up a 5 as he heads around for a second pass. Castillo held up on that pack, still trying to get through his initial pass.
Team France Mech out here, one of the things that I see that they're doing that may be making a difference in the score is really holding the front of the pack and not really letting Argentina control much of the speed. And so that's allowing their jammer the opportunity. They can kind of pump the brakes on and let their jammer through the pack to rack up those points like he just did.
Really good point, Dev, because by France being in that position, maybe we'll get to see some of that here with this pass. France holding up at the front, not wanting to get the back end of the pack at all. All 4 of them getting together quickly, and that makes life hard for that jammer. Gets a bump out right there, hand down. This is where he gets bumped out again. Hard work on that line, but again, having that front wall right now, they get control speed, to your point. Good observation.
Now on the jam line, we've got Pibe for Team Argentina, Sangleacu for Team France. Sunglade Recycle behind the pack there first. We see a track cut call assessed to a French skater, which is going to allow the opportunity for Pibe to get through the track. And another Argentinian skater headed to the penalty box on a track cut call.
Pibe darting and dashing his way at the front. Now he's finally held up, giving the French skaters enough time to gather themselves, because his lateral movement is so quick and low that you can see the blockers are trying to just move with him, and you can't. You've got to set a wall farther ahead and try to capture and slow him. Matching his pace is exactly what he wants. A jammer like that wants blockers to try and come and deke with me, because I'm just going to drop down and slide by your knees, which he's been doing incredibly well all weekend.
Ventos back in now for Team Argentina, Pupates back for France. Both teams on a very similar jammer rotation out there. We've seen this matchup quite a few times now. Pupates typically getting the lead out there on the track.
Yeah, and this is my miscalled jam on Ventos. It was Ventos out there, because you're right, they've been matching up jammers pretty well through the whole first half.
Yep, and Pupates through now for the French. Ventos, they're still on his initial pass, taking that pivot head-to-head, as you saw there in turn 2.
French pivots eyeing that wall to look to throw some offense as number 13, Killian Cross, waiting for the opportunity to just peel one blocker off, and that's usually all it takes, and it did, because that picked up those points for France. A 5-pointer, because Castillo is still trapped behind that red defensive wall. Oh, big hit. Pupates came through, pulled his arm in to make sure it was a very clean shoulder hit. It was a big hit in that turn to get through for another pass. Some players signaling for penalties, looking at the ref saying, I think that was a high block, you should call it.
But what we see is a multiplayer call there, sending Hygienic, number 95 for Team France, to the penalty box.
And a forearm call on Castillo, sends him to the penalty box right at the end. That was a very advantageous jam for France. That kind of all went France's way. As much as they lost a blocker to the box, they now have the Argentine jammer in the box. Yeah, just sitting right now. So that's a fresh 30-second roller derby athletics start that you get here. Coaching staff running around, and oh, I can see coaching staff conferring with their eyes on the track, calling an official review. I'm assuming they're going to review that. The call on their jammer. Will be right back after this.
We see everyone conferring there in the center of the track. France with a nice 14-point jam, 101-54. 2 minutes remaining here in the first period. This game so going by so quickly. I didn't even realize we only had 2 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Well, even the score is surprising just now. Suddenly, this gaps appeared, because this game was very much back and forth. A series of penalties that Argentina. Now France took advantage of those power jams. They couldn't in the first 10 minutes or 10, 15 minutes. The last 15, they clearly taken advantage of it.
Yeah, but I think the difference is oh, let's hear for our official review. Spin. Mute button.
The blue team is using their official review, requesting a back block against the red jammer on corner 4.
All right, our head ref, Aria, informing us that Argentina is requesting a review of a back block that sent their jammer to the penalty box. Might as well. 2 minutes left in the half. They get another one for the second half. Might as well take advantage of it. Team gets a rest. Time to hit a reset button, and if they did a good job of explaining their story.
Yeah, we did see in a game earlier today, I think, Mac, that someone had asked for an official review to return something, and it didn't work.
All right, go back to the track see what's
For
happening.
Argentina.
Upon review, the initial contact was seen to land on the shoulder. No penalty. Blue team has used their review for this first half.
So if I heard that correctly, there was no penalty?
In as such as a no call will stand.
Oh, so here's the correction. They were asking for a penalty on a red skater. It wasn't about their jammer being in, and the referee said the contact was on the shoulder. So I had it backwards, my error. On we go.
Gotcha. Back to the action on the track. We've got Rocket Bush out there with a nice lateral hop just off of turn 1. He's going to be forced out and recycled on this Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam. Rocket Bush taking it up the inside line. Lead jammer status to Team France with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining in the first half of this game.
Bento standing in the penalty box about to rejoin his teammates. Bentos enters the pack now. Rocket Bush is running some trouble, but he's got lots of time to work on this and collect points. Even if he's cycled out, he's getting a point for all those hips he's passing. An attempted star pass here by Bentos to number 28, Sanchez. Sanchez now has the star. He's forced out. Carefully doesn't pick up a cut. That's something Argentina can't afford right now, is another power jam.
That's right. We have not seen this pivot yet take the star, but he is so far successful, able to make it through on his initial pass. Team France seeing what they're up against, forced to call out the jam. 5 points on the board, however, for France, still in that lead, 106-54.
The Derby Shop, because roller derby saves your soul but wrecks all your gear. The Derby Shop is an online as well as a brick and mortar shop in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Where else is Amsterdam? Or online at all those W's, thederbyshop.nl. It is known for the best advice and technical support when it comes to all your roller derby gear. And if you ever visit, bring cookies.
I think you're right, Mac. There are many main streets, but only one Amsterdam, as far as I know. And thank heavens for it. All right, Castillo there, your jammer for Argentina, stuck behind that pack of blue. He is up against the Cleaner for Team France. Cleaner with lead jammer status in the red out there. We see a penalty, a forearm call. Oh, excuse me, an insubordination call?
So he picked up an elbow, and because they deemed that he had not left the track in the amount of time given, he was added some additional penalty time, so he's sitting for a full minute.
That is bad news for Argentina, especially with the Cleaner out there on the track. The Cleaner couldn't have picked a better derby name as far as I'm concerned, because he is really cleaning it up with these points out there for Team France. There he is on a 5-point pass.
And one of those jammers, watch everyone when he comes in, he actively uses his back, or he calls it off and I don't get to show you. He actively uses his back often when he's dialing himself through a pack and picking up points. Seeing a lot more of that this weekend.
I think a lot of times people think that roller skating requires a lot of leg strength and lower body work, but you don't realize exactly how much core work actually goes into being able to skate and out-juke your competition, and even being able to get up and recover quickly. That is just one of the most exhausting things you can ever do, is try to recover multiple times.
Totally agree, because the deke for a jammer is from the waist up. All their power and strength is between the knees and the hips, because that's their speed, that's their change of direction. And you'll see all that deking upstairs, right? Because that's where they want you to look. And you see Castillo and Pibe do that really, really well because of their stature. But even the Cleaner, twisting and turning, gets those points. And France getting those points is up 111-54 at halftime.
That's right. A good, so far, start to the game. Argentina showing up, doing great work with their jammers. I'm going to run and check here at the half on some penalties, and we'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated quad roller skate shop in Calgary, Alberta.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu, and I fend for you.
And welcome back to the Sisu Studios. This is Bob Noxious. I have the opportunity to be sitting here with two of the players from Team Sweden. Right to my left, I have Carl Martinsson, and I've got Papa with me. Guys, you had a fun weekend?
Yeah, we had.
It's absolutely a great weekend.
So tell me, now Carl, you were saying that you skated in Birmingham in 2014.
Yeah, we came in as a really young team last time. Most of our guys didn't have minimum skill until mostly a year before the last tournament. So we had more time to develop the team and practice a bit more. So we felt better prepared going into this tournament.
And you definitely were. You guys had some great games. They just ended up defeating Belgium a little bit earlier here today. They won 3 games. They finished in 11th place. What do you think the difference was in the team? What was stronger this time around?
We could build walls. We had a defense.
Yeah.
That was nothing. We had nothing last time.
Yeah. As far as the roster goes, was it a lot of the same people, or was it different?
Half of the roster, I'd say, is
okay. So, Papa, for you, this being your first World Cup.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, how eye-opening and exciting and nervous is that when you've not had that experience before?
It was so much fun. I mean, coming here with this team, didn't have so much time to prepare. So we kind of grow into the tournament.
Sure.
And just see the team come together and play for each other. It was so much fun, and all good derby that's going on here. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is. Tell me, what was, you guys have, each one of you have a favorite game out of the ones you played?
I don't know. I think the Italy game is where we played our best game.
Yeah.
We really locked them down really good, so I'd say that would be my favorite game.
What about you, Papa?
I love the game against Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tough game, but I just love that. I love Mexico.
Yeah, and of course Mexico being a real interesting story because we didn't know what to expect at all. So what happens with the team once you guys get back home? Do you guys continue to practice, continue to play some other people, and kind of keep your edge for upcoming the 2018?
I think that's going to be a big difference from last time around.
Yeah.
After the last World Cup, we sort of split up and went off to do different things. This time around, we're going to try to stay more together and try to do something in the autumn as a team and go out and play against most likely another European team.
Sure.
I think we're going to try to hold the team together.
Nice. Now, I'll let each one of you say something, whatever it is you would like to say to all the people back home.
Yeah.
Carl, why don't you go ahead and start?
Jag vill hälsa så jättemycket till Sweden. Du fanns med oss hela tiden. Det är jättesynd att du inte kunde vara här. Vi gjorde så gott vi kunde för dig. Tack så jättemycket. Och alla ni andra som tittar där hemma. Vi älskar er. Ha det fint.
Yeah. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the Facebooks, emails, phone calls. It felt like whole Sweden were with us. And we hope we made Roller Derby Sweden proud of us. We tried to do our best, and we are happy with the result of this tournament.
Oh, you should be, and I think you guys did yourselves proud. And I want to say thank you to both of you for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Bob Noxious, and we're going to take it back to the track.
Welcome back to the track, Bob. Bob needed to say something in another language, but I think he already was.
He speaks fluent Bob. That's about it. No, wonderful interview there from the Sweden skaters. As you can tell from that interview and every interview and all the track play we've seen out here, everyone's just really happy to be here.
It's amazing.
Yeah, being able to represent your country, getting a lot of love from home.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun to see everybody come out here. Having attended the last Women's Roller Derby World Cup and then coming here, I remember leaving there and then just feeling really sad to be away from all of my roller derby friends and family.
And everybody out there knows the feeling of the Derby Downer. After an amazing event like this, I was fortunate enough to be part of the coaching staff for the first 2 World Cups. And nothing was like 2011 except 2014 except this. Like, it keeps getting more. I can't believe the buzz around this. I'm still getting just on the side, and we get the fun job.
Yeah.
We just get to yak about it, right? They're down there like we're sweating sitting here, folks. Trust me, they are killing themselves out there in terms of putting everything on the floor for their country. I watched Puerto Rico play Italy today. By the last jam, they had more skaters on the track than on the bench because they had 5 aside on the track and 2 subs left.
Wow.
And they skated their hearts out, and it was like a 7-point game. And they cheered because they're 14th and 15th, and they don't care. It was heartwarming to watch. People up in the NSO area yelling at the windows, cheering them on. That's what's cool about this event. So if you can't be here, you need to contact the Men's Roller Derby World Cup and host this event, because it's an amazing event to host. And I know they'd love to have it somewhere. Another special place, was it Manchester last time? Birmingham, thank you. Sorry, Birminghamians. If that's correct, I apologize for that too. Birmingham, England, Calgary, Alberta. Let's have somewhere else more
Maybe just
international.
hold a sign that says we're sorry.
They're just going to run an apology bug across the bottom.
Yeah. So coming back to this game, though,
Yes.
here we are. If you're just joining us, we are currently watching Argentina versus France. We are coming down from halftime, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Quick rundown of penalties. I went to check like I promised you all I would. We've got Castillo, who is a jammer. He's sitting on 3 penalties, which is a little bit worrisome. Something that I guess we had missed out on the track, number 17, Mr. Borderline for Team Argentina, actually fouled out of the game.
Whoa.
So he will not be joining us here after the half. Everyone else doing pretty well, maybe 1 or 2 penalties here and there. Going over to the French team, they are skating for us today in red. Very, very clean team. I count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 penalties total for the entire team of France.
And
That's pretty impressive.
That speaks to that lead, because all those penalties on the Argentine side are 3 points every time that jammer goes through. I only have a 2-wall to pass, but I'm getting all those points in the box. And I imagine that Mr. Borderline, because I made a comment about being a little borderline, he picked up, I think at least once or twice, he picked up the old look at my forearm, because didn't leave the track. Referees decide that you've heard them. Now they're going to issue an insubordination for not leaving the track immediately or using the track to get the penalty box. Could have been those situations, because 7 is hard to get in 30 minutes.
Yeah, we've seen that penalty actually a few times. Skaters knowing that they're not supposed to engage, but I think they forget you actually cannot physically be on the track once you're asked to leave the track. So you can skate the lap on the outside, but if you're still on the track, you will get that misconduct.
So my coaching for skaters is 2 things happen whenever you get a penalty. The first thing is you leave the track. The second thing is you report to the penalty box. Then you're good. Clean every time.
Step 1, step 2.
Yeah.
All right, coming back in here, 5 seconds. It's look like we've got Pupates starting out for us. We've got Castillo starting out in the penalty box for Team Argentina. So we're going to come back from halftime on a Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam.
Pupates is going to take the pack on himself. The French blockers come in late to add some offense. Penalty already called right away in an Argentine blocker, a multiplayer block. Pupates taking advantage of their arms locked and running at them, as he should. They've got to let go and release that grip. He gets through on the inside. His lead for France. Still awaiting the jammer to return from the penalty box. It's a free skate here for Pupates, waiting for his offense. The French skaters, as you pointed out earlier, sitting at the front of the pack. Oh, Pupates, I thought he dragged a skate there. It was a narrow miss on a cut.
Very narrow.
Looks like Castillo's joined us back on the track.
Yeah, Pupates there in turn 3, pushing hard against those blockers. Argentinian blockers doing a great job buying their jammer some time to kill that penalty, get him back on the track so they can hopefully get through here on their initial pass and score some points. Pupates just off your screen there. There's going to be an out of play call. Yes, sending one of the Argentinian skaters. Again, those penalties, Mac. Every time a skater leaves the track, that jammer gets another opportunity to go past.
Yeah, and that's that bonus point I love as a coach. You pass one skater, you get 2 points. Nothing better than that for a jammer.
Yep, it's a 2-for-1 special here all day.
No coupons required, kids. Pupates just skated out of your camera shot, picking up another pass, getting a 5-point because we still have a star stuck in there, but there has been a star pass. Castillo hands it off to the pivot, number 99. That is Donet, who's got that star, but he's forced out at the front by those strong French walls that still command speed and pace at the front of that pack.
Pupa test again on a recycle. Almost a full 2-minute jam, even though he does have lead. As you can see there on your screen, he's just going for it.
Multiplayer given right at the end to 21 in blue. Argentina's Heavy Dolce picking up another penalty. Again, Argentina not where they want to be, but this is not the way to start the half. And I'll put on my French coaching hat and say, I'm going to run 2-minute jams. We're up by 70 points. You're getting a lot of penalties. Let's keep the blockers out there, because also tired starts kicking in. And that's when people start to reach a little bit.
Right, once you start getting tired, you start making mistakes. Yeah, definitely that. Pibe, they're stuck in the pack. Again, he has an interesting way of finding his line. He tries to take it up the middle every single time, but he's having a little trouble seeing daylight. He's going to attempt a star pass there to number 28. That is Sanchez for Argentina.
Sangla Oku tried a jump there, didn't land it, stayed on his hands and knees, crawled back legally on the track to the back of the pack, and he's going to try and get through this pack again. He does have lead. He's looking at his bench. Oh, late call maybe on that call off. No. Advantageous, taking 2 points. None for Argentina. Again, long jams. I'll take 2-0 long jams for 26 minutes and say thank you. The onus is now in Argentina. They've got to change how they're playing, take that front wall. One thing I am seeing, though, is when they get their 3-pack together, they are very strong and formidable, but they seem to be chasing more than they're able to get into their play, which means they're playing into France's game, which is what a team wants.
Right, you cannot say that the Argentinian blockers are not doing a great job at being blockers. What they're doing is getting themselves in a little bit of penalty trouble.
Correct.
Now on the track again, we've got the cleaner for Team France up against Bentos for Team Argentina. We had a track cut call, sending an Argentinian skater to the penalty box. Again, allowing Team France that lead jammer opportunity as soon as that blocker left the track.
Quick star pass by Argentina. Their pivot number 4 out front with the star. That's Bargallo. Hope I pronounced that one right. It's like pronunciation bingo. Mr. Cleaner. And one thing I know about Mr. Cleaner, he is solid in that core area. There's a lot of person to move there. Well, he's not so much dashy and darty as he's twists and turns and grinds and continues to move packs forward. Hard skater to hold still.
Right, Cleaner out there using every bit of the track to his advantage. Rocket Bush now taking the track for Team France up against Castillo for Argentina. Looks like Argentina may have a blocker in the penalty box to start. It's a 3-on-3 pack. Both jammers attempting the inside line, neither successful. Through first is Castillo, your lead jammer, Team Argentina.
So the French jammer did get through, but did not pass everyone legally, therefore did not pick up lead. I thought he had gotten through, but he's popped off a star, faking a pass. Okay, that was really well done. Too bad they got caught in the corner, but that was a beautiful fake, because they set that up to fake out the blue blockers with no intent of passing that star.
Rocket Bush forced out again by Heavy Dolce. Again, cannot say enough about Heavy Dolce. His blocking has been on point this entire game. He's done a fantastic job. Got a direction of gameplay call, sending a skater to the penalty box there. Again, Argentina. That is number 12, Cruz, to the penalty box. And now a multiplayer call, sending Hygienic to the penalty box for Team France just before the whistle. Nice 5-point jam there, picked up for Argentina, or 5-point pass. That is a 10-point jam.
That is that on a pass to try and get that star out of the pack, but it's Castillo here, getting small, staying down, taking that whole outside line the long way around the track, but to his advantage and speed to beat everyone to the outside and pick up those final points. 10 points in that jam. Good jam for Argentina. They needed that right now.
Yeah, first points picked up by Argentina in the last 5 jams.
Pibe tries the inside line, gets bumped out and forced to the back. Pibe again goes up the inside. This time he's past everyone, zigs and zags. As soon as those walls fall apart, Pibe has free reign on that track. Darting and dashing around. He's already at the back of the pack. And ducks down as low as you can go and grabs 4 points looking at his bench. Looking for a signal. They're telling him to go for one more pass. Why not? They need the points right now. Rely on your defense to hold the opposing blocker, a jammer, but they can't. As he gets out, that is 2-2-3 for France. Pupa test, but Pibe. Love to see that shot again if we caught it, but the speed and dexterity, the lateral movement that you love to see in a jammer, he exhibits without, it looks effortless. I couldn't do that in shoes.
Just before that whistle there, we saw Killian Cross head to the penalty box on a misconduct. We've got number 13 in the penalty box as well for Team France.
Killian Cross. But there's also an Argentine skater in the box as well. So equal packs here as we have Bentos out there up against the French jammer right there, number 087. You can see him on your screen, Senga Aku. The name I butcher every time I pronounce it, but it doesn't matter because your lead jammer is Argentina's Bentos, and here's another lead jam that they desperately need to get some points on. Down really low, coming around that outside again on one skate. He gets bumped, but he gets right back in quickly. And again, using that small stature is about getting up and getting in faster, and you're seeing it happen on your screen right now. Now it's slowing down. This is where it gets tough. Looking for some offense to the pack. Gets it and steps around and picks up 5. A 5-point grand slam.
Killian Cross there back in the penalty box on a back block call this go around. We've got a couple of blockers from Team France in the box. France starting to get a little bit messy out there on the track, Mac.
And now Argentina taking full advantage of it. And again, a forearm call that based by Castillo's reaction, I'm thinking it wasn't a forearm call. Not looking too happy with the referees. That was a cut call. Oh, now we cut on the French jammer. We have the jammer rotation program going underway right now. We've got Castillo right back out there. Barely had enough time to complain about the call, and he's out collecting points again.
It's really the best you can hope for. Castillo, they're putting up a hard fight trying to stay in, Bentos. That is Bentos on the track from Argentina. They both do look very similar.
But there's these things called numbers on their back I should pay more attention to. Sorry, everyone in Argentina.
Out of play call there sent to Mirage for Team France. Again, as I said, France starting to pick up the penalties a little bit here in the second half with 20 minutes remaining. They may be in a little bit of penalty trouble as well by the end of this game.
Yeah, that tide has definitely flipped. We're just seeing some calls right near the end. Got the Argentine coach out of the track right now, talking to our head ref, Aria. And now we've got another coach out. Here comes the French coach. And both benches signal a timeout, but France wins the timeout signal. We'll be right back after this message.
S1.
S1.
S1. S1.
S1. S1 is part of my uniform.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
Team timeout for France just completed here. Although the majority of that time was spent with both coaches talking to the head ref, Aria. No official review taken, maybe just some clarification. Good time to take a timeout. France has given far too many points and taken far too many penalties. Good time to hit the reset button and get a fresh crew out there.
Right, you definitely want everybody to take a breather, regroup
Myself
a little
bit.
As well. Yes. Cleaner now on the track up against Castillo.
Thank you.
This time. We'll see if we can stick with it. We're going to come back with Heavy Dolce in the penalty box for what I believe is his 4th penalty now. A single French blocker in the penalty box as well. Good opportunity for Argentina to capitalize on that. Castillo, your lead jammer for Team Argentina.
Castillo already at the pack by the time he said that. With the speed being shown through the pack, picks up all his points and calls it off. That's a nice 4-0 jam. That was quick and clean. They took about 20 seconds to put 4 points on the board. Calling off the jam. Nobody went to the box.
Just as soon as you say it,
I know.
Mac. Remember, friends at home blame Mac the Mouth.
Oh, I think there's a lot of blaming going on already. I've done my fair share.
Poopa Test out there on the track against P-Bay. We got a little bit of a kerfuffle there on the sidelines.
Oh, I love a good kerfuffle.
Yes.
P-Bay knocked out by Poopa Test. Both jammers to the infield. Both have to head to the back of the pack. He's cycled back. I see a low block call on the French jammer, I believe. Yeah, he's heading off the track. Blocking out of bounds, blocking out of bounds call. And we have a power jam, and P-Bay, definitely the jammer Argentine wants on that track right now. Spinning and jeeking and jiving his way up the main straightaway towards the camera here. That's coming out of this turn 1, turn 2. He's out of the pack. He picks up 5. There's a cut call on a French blocker. France sending some blockers to the box. Again, advantageous for P-Bay. If he can keep his speed up, this is what he likes to do. Keep that speed up in the pack. And this is where his blockers should be getting in there and speeding up that pack from my perspective. This jammer needs speed. That's his game. And there he goes. Once it breaks apart, he's so hard to contain.
Yeah, if I'm a French blocker right now, I don't want to stand in one spot and let those Argentinians break me up. I want to speed up the pack a little bit, wall up, be careful not to get out of play, but just enough to where my team can regroup.
Some calls made there, a low block. Just making sure, and Poopa Test has got a star stash right now. It's tucked in his hand. But it hasn't fooled the Argentine blockers. They know who the jammer is, so they're keeping on that jammer. Meanwhile, P-Bay ducks down so low, races around the outside of the pack, gone again for more points. P-Bay now on a 23-point jam, perhaps 24. We'll watch the score at the bottom. A 24-point jam. But look what's happening in this game with 17 minutes left. This is the jam that Argentina needs to lift the bench. We still got lots of time left in this game, and they're coming in 32 points. P-Bay calls it. Should have grabbed a few more. Probably our biggest jam of the game.
See Poopa Test there taking a hit by those Argentinian blockers, and P-Bay doing that deep move that he does to just get past. I think at some point he eventually gets so low that they just can't see where he went.
I agree. I mean, listen, small jammers out there, none of you are allowed to watch this and say, I can't jam, I'm too small.
Right, absolutely. I used to always try that trick, but it never really worked out for me. I think staying on your feet is probably
well, that's one.
helpful.
We'll start there.
Yeah, as you said, beautiful jam there for Argentina. They're back in this. They're coming back from the halftime with nearly a 50-point plus deficit. Now we're looking at a 32-point game.
France picking up lead in this 10th jam of the game. And this is what they want to do, settle things down, set up their wall, and start gassing out a jammer in blue as best they can. The jammer for Argentina is number 2, and that is Bentos. Bentos just picked up a cut, though. He entered the pack too quickly. Really nice work by number 2000, Hasselhoff. But we also have the French jammer in the box for a cut penalty. So we got the jammer, a rammer, happening to the penalty box, right back out is our French jammer, and right behind him is Bentos.
Ducking down low, taking a page out of P-Bay's book is Sangle Aku. He makes it past. Gets a little bit of recycle, one blocker left to beat, able to take it up on the toe stops and put another 5-point pass up for Team France. P-Bay now headed to the penalty box for Argentina on a forearm call. Now this is a roller derby athletics power jam for Sangle Aku and Team France.
So we still have 30 seconds left. There's been 3 jammer penalties so far in this one jam. Oh, and points have been scored, by the way. 9 points for France right now. Argentina not taking advantage of those opportunities. As Bentos stands in the penalty box. Which means he's got less than 10 seconds, just waiting for Bentos to release him. You see him join the screen here as the penalty box is just off to your left. There he is coming into the back of the pack. Another French skater heads to the penalty box at the same time. They've got 2 blockers in there right now. Bentos forced out and called for a penalty, I believe.
That's right, it looks like a forearm call there just on the corner of your screen. You can see Bentos exiting the track and headed to the penalty box just before that jam came to its natural conclusion.
4 jammer penalties in less than 2 minutes.
Bentos too, from what I have written down, that's 5 penalties for Bentos. Argentina may be coming up against a wall here when it comes to running out of jammers if they don't catch those penalties.
And I'm going to say that that first cut was avoidable. That was waiting 1 beat, looking at where the red shirt was and taking an extra stride and staying on that track.
Yep, here we are back. Rocket Bush taking the track for Team France on this roller derby athletics power jam. Rocket Bush pushing hard, unable to make it so far. 15 seconds in, still not over the pivot line. Takes a spill right on the pivot line, which is going to see a forearm call assessed to one of the Argentinian skaters. Rocket Bush now through. A little bit of confusion because the penalty was actually being signaled by the jam ref. And so I was like, is it on the jammer? Is it not? But it looks like it was to Team Argentina.
Rocket Bush just punches his way through. The Argentine blockers are a little bit stretched apart. They've got to get themselves gathered, take a breath, set themselves up a wall. Right now they're setting up 2. There they go. They got their 3-pack set up now, and that's that strength position all the teams are showing this weekend.
Pive trying to take the outside line, or Bentos there on the track cut, trying to take that outside line. It's going to put him in the penalty box. Another power jam for France. If you're in France right now, this is good news for you. That's 10 points so far for Team France, and we're looking at, again, another 50-point difference on the scoreboard.
And I'll bet you're watching in France. It's just, and we'll say good Monday morning because it's just after midnight in France right now, but I know you're all up watching, cheering at your screens. As the whistles blow to call off the jam, and we still have a jammer in the box. That is Bentos for Argentina. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a timeout called for Team Argentina. Oh, sorry, an official review. Thank you. Official review being called.
Looking over at the penalty box here, Mac, I see Bentos now standing behind the penalty box and Castillo taking the jammer seat.
That means
Bentos has fouled out of the game. That was his 7th penalty.
Unfortunate for Argentina because they're now down a jammer that was in their regular rotation. Don't know what depth they have in their bench. They definitely have enough skaters that had a full 14 roster to start the game. And we have an official review.
Looks like Argentina is probably going to question that call on their jammer.
And maybe they need to. Like, this would be the opportunity to get that penalty out of there. Try to get them back on the track. But we're just going to use our lip reading skills here to our worst effect and say that they're deciding on dinner.
We can't speak the language, much less lip read the language, Mac. You're asking too much.
We barely do it in English. On a good day.
So
and
again,
it is a good day.
France again putting up another nice 12-point jam. Like we said, now we're looking at 58 points separating these teams. And with a jammer fouling out, that is definitely not what you want if you are Team Argentina. 168 to 110. Period clock sitting at 12 minutes, 31 seconds.
This is Blue Team's review. They're requesting an embellishment penalty on the red jammer for deliberately going down to avoid a block.
Oh, switching up the game on us there.
That's a really interesting call because that's one call a lot I see as a coach. Again, I'm going to take out my announcer's hat, I'm going to coach hat, that I see a lot of the refereeing not calling as often as other calls, embellishment. That's a hard one to get in a regular play, let alone in a review. I think it's a why not? If I can get their jammer in or get that penalty erased, or at least I'll get their jammer in. It may not take away my penalty, but it would add a penalty for the red jammer, equal things out. Embellishment, interesting.
So Bentos now we do see exiting the track. I'm wondering if the non-skating officials thought the same thing we did, that they may have been questioning that final penalty, but he is leaving the track now, and we know what that official review is for.
Definitely not for him. He's done his 7. He's waiting. And you can hear a huge round of applause from the crowd. Really appreciative and really big crowds here all weekend. And this room keeps filling up as we get down closer to the end of this day. But I see Arya meeting with the captains right now to explain. So we'll look for happy faces and sad faces to help try to read what's happening in that group.
You're going to give credit to both of these teams, though. for what seems like good time clock management. They're using their timeouts. They're using their official reviews. One of the things that maybe not as a coach, maybe you could tell me, but I hate to see a team with a full board of timeouts and official reviews. There was nothing you had a question about during the whole game?
Let's find out what the decision here is from head ref Aria.
The jammer deliberately got very low to avoid the block. The jammer did not go into a down position, however. That's legal play. The review is used.
So Argentina's used their review. They didn't get their call. They definitely got a 3.5-minute rest, which is better than a 1-minute timeout. And your earlier question about using timeouts, I totally agree. And as a coach, I used to leave them on the board. I actually now tactically take timeouts at set times. If I don't need it, I take it at set times in the game just to hit the reset button.
Right. If nothing else, let your jammers catch a breath.
Yeah, and have a conversation with your team. Let everyone, it's really hard to communicate as a group. Anyways, back on the track, we got some, our action's already underway, and that is the cleaner, surprisingly enough, with lead for France. Cleaner already in scoring position. Oh, big hit out on Castillo. Sends him to the back of the pack. Still looking for his initial pass. The cleaner's already working at the front here. And again, driving forward, twisting and turning and driving, picking up 5. Nice work by Castillo to stay on his toe stops. Now he's down in front of you here on the left. He's going to cycle in behind Clean. Cleaner's already back at the back. He just passed him there. France doing a great job of holding. Coming right towards you now. Watch the cleaner dig through this pack. He's going to work their arms. He's waiting for some offense. You can see him look over his shoulder, waiting for the pivot to come in just enough to disrupt. Castillo uses the gap to get out. Cleaner says, fair enough, I'll call it off.
Six-point jam there for France, 174 to 110. We've got 11 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the game. We did see a France blocker headed to the penalty box on a forearm call just before that whistle. Argentina's going to start off with a full pack as they put in Pibe on the jam line up against Sangleaku for Team France.
Both jammers trying to poke around to see what they can get into. Now they step into their next levels. Sangleaku is stuck in the same pack, but Pibe darting and making those blockers move and disconnect, and that's what he likes to do. That's his forte. Pushing in here, and then he cuts out, swings out again. He's going to keep poking around and getting them to move. Both of these packs doing a phenomenal job of holding. We're 30 seconds into this jam. We haven't gotten into turn 1 yet. Oh, Pibe.
Oh, Pibe.
Oh, Pibe. That low thing.
There he went, dipping down low. Looked like his opponent tried to sit on him there, but that's just how low he gets. And now he is on a power jam as we see Sangleaku headed to the penalty box on a track cut call. A couple of Argentinian blockers headed to the penalty box as well. Pibe approaching the pack there just before turn 3. Back block whistle on another Argentinian skater. Pibe, not a lot of help out there for him on the track.
Pibe, oh, penalty, another French penalty. Pibe picked up those points. A low block penalty there. Pibe aware enough to see that he could just keep going. Ducks down low. How does he do that? It's steep skating forward with speed. And a similar move as well. We've got a star pass. No, it was a star stash. As Sangleaku is now out, forcing Pibe to make a decision. Saw the blue blocker, number 21. That was Heavy Dolce signaling to Pibe with his hand behind his back. Guess what we're probably going to see here? I sure hope we do. Here comes Pibe. Gets knocked out. Gets cycled back. I don't know if we're going to get his pass in here or not. Here it is, low, jumps on his toe stops, inbounds the entire time. That was his pass to get lead. Excellent skating out there.
Yeah, definitely worth it there for Pibe and Team Argentina. They put up 15 points on that jam, bringing us now 125 to 175, 8.5 minutes left. Plenty of time to do it, Mac.
Absolutely, 50 points, easy to pick up. Oh, I believe we might have a cut penalty, and we do. As our Argentine jammer stepped in without, again, not taking that second look. That was number 28, who we haven't seen jamming out there today, Sanchez. But I guess with the loss of Castillo, they had to add another jammer rotation. High block call.
High block. Yep, to Pupates there. That's going to put him in the penalty box for Team France. Sanchez came out of his chair a little quickly there, so I think Pupates is going to be able to leave the penalty box first.
Quite a conversation with the NSOs there.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion over there. Not sure, somebody was not sure what was supposed to happen, but we do see Pupates back on the track there, number 223. So now Sanchez is going to serve a little more time in the box for an illegal procedure for trying to exit before he was supposed to. We've also seen that penalty a couple of times here this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Just eager to get back in there, seeing the time on the clock. 50 points is within reach. Nice run down the line. Sanchez keeps his balance. Oh, nicely done to get out of there.
Pupates, one blocker left to beat there on the track. That is Esquivel. He makes it through for a 5-point pass. Looks back to check the board and see how many more seconds are remaining. We're going to see a direction, a gameplay call, send a skater off the track.
Oh, Sanchez, nice work through the back. I mean, for pulling out your fourth jammer into rotation, he's doing an admirable job out there by getting through these packs and picking up points. That was a jam. I'm wondering in the NSOs in the penalty box, my understanding is if you stand up before you're told to stand up, they're supposed to stop timing your penalty until you sit back down again. Whether that adds an additional penalty, from talking to NSOs, the moment you leave your seat, your time stops. So if you stand up too early and they're not to instruct you to sit back down, they will just stand there and wait until you sit back down. So you can stand for 20 seconds and not realize you haven't finished your 20 or your original 20 before you get your 10.
High block call there, sending France's blocker Rocket Bush, or France's jammer Rocket Bush to the penalty box. Also a direction, a gameplay call on an Argentinian blocker, and a track cut call on another Argentinian blocker. So everybody, mass exodus there to the penalty box now. Here in the last 5 or 6 minutes of gameplay. We see an out of play call on Argentina as well.
Castillo coming into this pack, it's a micro pack, which should be to his advantage. He knocked down to his knees, he's getting right back up again, but now he's got 3 skaters to contend with. Argentina coming with their offense, see if they can pop him out of there. Because now the French jammer's back on the track, just caught up in the last second, but not enough to pull him in as he flies around the track. That's Rocket Bush.
Multiplayer call again there on Gato. And he sat in the jammer seat, so he's going to have to switch over to the blocker seat before his time can start. So again, a little confusion going on over here in the penalty box. In fact, you know, so we were talking about that earlier. One of the things that I think is happening is these NSOs are tapping the shoulders of a skater, and they think that is the green light to go. But real quick, we're going to take a timeout and hear from our sponsors.
I can't imagine that I'd get more kicks playing golf than I do hitting a and this one is part of my uniform.
A clear path through the pack almost never exists. So we fight and make our own.
Great observation there, actually, that you brought up just before we went to that break about the NSOs tapping the shoulder, I'll get it right, of a skater to stand when some skaters we've seen just leave, thinking that's their go time. And language, maybe not. I mean, they played enough games this weekend to get into the rhythm what that is, but when you get excited and going and focused, it could still happen. That's very well, it's likely that's happened.
Yeah, once that adrenaline starts pumping, your body just kind of goes into auto mode sometimes.
Woo!
Go, go, go!
Put me on, coach. Put me on, coach.
Donette taking the line for Argentina. The cleaner taking the line for France. Both teams micro packs on the track. France for the opportunity for lead jammer. No, I'm mistaken. That is Team Argentina done it with lead jammer status, calling off the jam before his opponent could pick up any points.
Must have just gotten his hips out
Yep.
because he got swallowed right up by that pack again. I didn't even pick up on it either, but good observation by the team to pick it up and call it before France could take any more points. The game is still within reach, 183 to 139. We're talking 44 points, doable in 4.5 minutes. Sengel Okul out there, we're in red, number 87, number 8 in blue, and in your program is P-Bay.
Everyone is P-Bay as far as we know. P-Bay, oh, there with a hit. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking, doesn't he? He heads to the penalty box, though, on a track cut call, but he has some hustle in those skates and gets right into the penalty box, not wasting any time for his team.
P-Bay, a huge fan favorite here at the World Cup, everywhere he goes these last couple of days.
The cleaner doing a great job. Oh, excuse me, Sangle Okul doing a great job here trying to get past this wall of blue. It seems like Argentina keeps putting in a very similar blocker wall as well. There are 3 heavy hitters out there on the track, Heavy Dolce being one of them. Oh, and Esquivel as well, doing a great job alongside Cruz there for Team Argentina.
P-Bay back on the track, enters that French tripod, keeps his skates in bounds. He's very flexible, gets pumped. And that low center of gravity keeps him on his skates a lot faster, a lot longer than the bigger skaters and blockers that are hitting him. Sengel Okul comes by and wipes the sweat from his face because it is smoldering hot in here today, by the way, folks. But picking up points, a 10-point jam so far for France, playing into their favor as time is running out for Argentina.
Direction of gameplay call there on Asilov, sending him to the penalty box. He was past the point of no return, so he's going to have to recycle all the way around the track. See an Argentinian blocker to the penalty box as well.
P-Bay splayed out on the track, has to skate to the very back and re-enter. Tries that low pass, but this time he almost got sat on by Candel Hero. That could be the jam that closes the door here on Argentina.
Yeah, Sangle Okul with a nice jump there to the inside. 2 minutes remaining. 62 points dividing these two teams. A lot of things can happen, but it's going to be a little difficult to pick up 60 points in 1 or 2 jams. I'm not going to say it's impossible, because nothing
Never.
is impossible.
No, never.
And we have Castillo out there for Argentina up against Coupetes for France. Castillo there, your lead jammer for Team Argentina. No one can say that Team Argentina isn't going to put in some work here in the last couple of minutes of gameplay.
They're ecstatic to be in this game. They know, they know they've reached beyond their last time in World Cup, so they're pumped about being there. They're not going to leave anything off the track.
That's right, folks. Take it all with you.
Castillo calls it off. What do you pick up on that? 4-point jam, 143-202. As time winds down, we're getting probably close to our last jam here. Argentina versus France in our game, our 5th place game. Winner ending up with 5 seed, loser taking a 6 seed out of the 20 teams here from all over the planet. I hope you're watching from all over the planet here as you're bringing the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016 from Calgary, Alberta.
Rocket Bush now against Sanchez for each of their respective teams. 34 seconds remaining on the period clock. Still hearing that penalty whistle, sending a couple of skaters to the box. Forearm call there for Argentina. France now blocker and jammer in the penalty box on this Roller Derby Athletics Power Jam.
Sanchez out there to finish things off for Argentina. French skaters are standing at their bench. Sanchez yet to get through that pack on initial pass, trying to pick up lead.
Out of time now on the period clock. 1 minute remaining in the jam. Jam number 18 for the remainder of this game. Sanchez forced to the infield. No lead jammer, so we're gonna run this baby out. 50 seconds now. You see the pivot for France head to the box. No pass, no penalty is the call for Sanchez. He makes his way around the track.
Skaters skating out the last 25 seconds here. One Argentine skater down, headed to the bench. Being tended to as we continue to finish off the last 15 seconds of this 5th place game between Argentina and France. It's more of a survival mode right now. And that's number 129, Rocket Bush, who's had a really good skate today for Team France and scored a lot of their points. As you hear Team France count it down, France wins, takes the win here. We'll get our official score. Suffice to say, they've picked up that win and 5th place here at the World Cup. France having some really strong games, putting a scare into Australia yesterday. Speaking of putting a scare into people.
Our very own Piggy Fatness there, zoomed in high caliber.
It's like 3D announcer for a second there. I almost had to leave the room. But France, well done for France to pick up that 5th spot. They gave Australia the biggest scare of this tournament, one of the games yesterday, to get into the seeding. Well deserved for them. And Argentina as well has had a really good weekend here and is, I'm sure, equally ecstatic for how they finished, because this is far and ahead of where they finished up, I believe, last year. And we'll confirm that. Or last World Cup, I concur.
Yeah, we see both teams there on the side. Well, you can see Team France, Team Argentina in a very similar stance there as they wrap up their time. There you can see them very happy to be here.
I would imagine a lot of them are happy to be done, because there are some tired, happy faces out there. And as we get closer to the end of this tournament, next up on this track will be Canada and Australia for, I believe, what we call 3rd, unless there's a bronze.
Canada-Australia, sure to be an incredible game. We saw Australia really put some work in against Team USA yesterday, racking up the points there. So I think Canada is ready to go. I think they're going to put up a good fight against Australia. It's going to be great.
And it's 8:30 Monday morning in Sydney, so I know there's a lot of Aussies. They love their roller derby. There's some of the stronger teams are in even WFTDA and men's derby are showing up there. We're just going to go to a track for an announcement with Statsman.
Gentlemen, Team France's G.I.J.
Thanks, Tasman. David! 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 Viens, allez, viens. Mets-toi là.
Mon chéri, ça y est, tu as joué ton dernier match de roller derby avec l'équipe de France, dans ce sport qui nous a fait nous rencontrer et qui est toute ta vie depuis 5 ans.
Mon ami,
j'aurais vraiment aimé être là à
mon
tes côtés
coéquipier,
pour
mon
vivre avec
frère,
toi ce moment le plus important de ta carrière de derby.
My brother.
Je n'ai pas pu être là, mais
Aujourd'hui,
je compte
c'était
être là à
ton
partir de
dernier match.
maintenant.
Ça y est, t'es retraité.
Je ne veux
mec.
plus jamais te quitter
Today,
et
it was a
t'accompagner
last
partout
game.
pour le reste de nos vies.
Right now, you are
Alors je
old
te demande,
and you are retired.
veux-tu m'épouser?
Beaucoup de gens auraient voulu
Mon
être là
chéri,
pour toi.
ça y
Mais
est,
une
tu as
personne
joué
en
ton dernier match
particulier.
de roller derby avec l'équipe de
Elle a
France.
voulu te laisser un
Dans
message,
ce sport qui
un
nous a
message
fait
en
nous
vidéo.
rencontrer et qui est toute ta vie
Cette
depuis 5
personne,
ans.
c'est Lou.
J'aurais vraiment
Lot of
aimé être là à tes
people will be
côtés
there for
pour
you,
vivre
man.
avec toi ce moment
But
le plus
especially
important
one.
de ta carrière de derby.
One girl.
Je n'ai pas pu être
She
là,
won't let
mais
a
je
little
compte bien être
video
là à
for
partir de
you.
maintenant.
Just
Je
for
ne veux
you.
plus jamais
And
te
this person
laisser
is
et
Lou.
t'accompagner
Have a good
partout
time,
pour
my
le reste de
friend.
nos vies. Alors je te demande, veux-tu m'épouser? Mon chéri, ça y est, tu as joué ton dernier match de roller derby avec l'équipe de France, dans ce sport qui nous a fait nous.
Just a reminder that the Bond booth will be packing up at 5 o'clock. So if you want to be fitted for some Bond booths, get across to their booth before 5 o'clock when they pack up. If you would like some Bond fitting.
Lots of knuckleheads walking side by side down the arms. Thinking it, how did I get? All your friends. This is cook, you say your prayer. Lord, please give me strength to make it through.
Via email this morning, and he said yes.
Nerd Roller Skates is your dedicated quad roller skate shop in Calgary, Alberta.
Being a nerd is about being really excited and really passionate about a really specific thing. And the thing that we are really excited and passionate about is roller skates.
Nerd Roller Skates.
Official skate shop, Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2016.
For people who roll.
I am your fortress on the front line of sport. Engineered to be stronger than the attack. I defy convention by protecting more with less. Helping you breathe easier, hydrate faster, speak more clearly. I am Sisu, and I fend for you.
on the floor, stars on the head. Roller derby log with the zebra said. Yeah, we rollin', yeah, we rapping for real. Can't feel the back wheels underneath my heels. Up through my spine, penetrating the heart. Calling off the jam till the next jam starts.
We really miss the feeling of spontaneously visiting a store and trying out the newest gear. A hangout for all roller skaters. Everyone has their own unique style. Because of our large assortment, we can now personalise roller skates while you wait, so you can try them out right away. Our mission is to fit you with the right gear, and don't forget to turn left.
Hey, this is Dan from S1 Helmets. We're in the testing lab today, testing helmets to see if they pass the Multiple Impact Certification Test. We're going to be testing 3 helmets today. A soft foam helmet with EVA foam and a terry cloth liner, the hockey helmet with triple density EVA foam, the S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam. All 3 of these helmets are marketed as multiple impact helmets. We're going to test all of them today and see which ones actually pass the test. The multiple impact test is when we drop a helmet to achieve a velocity of 4.57 meters per second. This simulates a 10-mile-an-hour impact or a 4-foot drop. The same helmet is tested 3 times in the same location. The helmet must reduce the energy pulse to under 300 Gs each time. Anything over 300 Gs can result in a traumatic brain injury or a severe concussion. In summary, the soft foam helmet with EVA foam and the hockey helmet with triple density foam did not pass the multiple impact test. The S1 Lifer helmet with EPS Fusion foam did pass the multiple impact test.